America's in real peril now. This threat to default on our debt is real. That's never been the case. We came close in 2011. There's been some grandstanding on both sides about the debt ceiling in the past, but the president and the majority party always accepted the responsibility to guarantee that we paid our debts in full and on time. And the reason for that is the consequences of default are catastrophic. Bernie, you've outlined what they are. And ironically, the advocates of default claim what they're doing is trying to bring down our debt, and Moody's estimates that a default would increase our debt by as much as $850 billion. So the tactic they've chosen will aggravate the problem they claim to be concerned about. The reason I'm so concerned is that this proposal that did not go through a single committee, had no regular order consideration, does such radical transformation to the budget that we have. The folks over there are serious. And Speaker McCarthy had to make one concession after another 15 times in order to get elected. And we've seen everyone reading the tea leaves. Are things looking good or are they looking bad? We don't know. Here's what we do know. Once pen hits paper and there's something real that folks are going to react to, the Freedom Caucus folks will be livid and explode. In my view, Speaker McCarthy has limited capacity to really negotiate. He's handcuffed and in leg irons from that 15 votes that it took to get him elected. And if he is able to negotiate something, once he tries to present it, there'll be uproar. So this question that's going to come down to may be the president having to make a second choice decision. His preference is what we should do is what we've always done, raise the debt ceiling. But what it will then come down to is using the authority of the 14th Amendment, which says something, by the way, that all of us know doesn't need to be in law to be real, and that is the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law shall not be questioned. The entire GOP is repudiating that language in the 14th Amendment. And by the way, the choice that the president has to make is whether, if it comes to it, he invokes the 14th Amendment or allows Republicans, in effect, to repudiate existing law. The appropriations that they want to unravel have all been passed by previous Congresses. It's the law. So we all support the president's ability, if he decides it comes to that, to invoke the 14th Amendment to save this country from economic ruin. Thank you.
Wow, friends, the U.S. household debt has just hit a new record high. Economists have confirmed a growing number of Americans are struggling to afford basic necessities, and this has led to several new relief checks targeted at low-income households. Thousands of dollars in relief is expected to be made available soon. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, my friends, of winning the giveaways. With everything from eggs to gas prices costing outrageous amounts of money lately, Americans continue to lean on their credit cards to front the bills. The New York Fed reported that U.S. household debt surged to a record $17 trillion, with consumers owing $986 billion on their credit cards in the first quarter of 2023. Credit card balances are also up nearly 20% from last year. As inflation rose to near 40-year high levels, millions of consumers have used credit cards to help manage their budgets, leading to record or near record high balances. The latest data shows that the average regular gas price in the U.S. is $3.53 per gallon. It is cheaper than some of the prices we saw in 2022, and just barely below the previous average price of $3.55 per gallon. After falling for much of the second half of 2022, gas prices this year have ticked up incrementally. According to data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, compared with peak gas prices, the current average represents a 29% decline since June 2022. Spot shortages can drive up gas prices locally because of refinery or pipeline shutdowns, blending issues, or even price gouging. But big, nationwide swings in the price of gasoline are almost always due to the price of crude oil. The cost of crude oil typically represents more than half of the cost of a gallon of gasoline. Refining, distribution, and taxes account for the remainder. And over time, the price of crude oil and the price of gasoline move with supply and demand. Many factors affect both. U.S. home prices have also just logged their biggest annualized drop in over 11 years, with soaring mortgage rates driving a slowdown. The national median existing home price slumped 1.7% to $388,800 last month. The slump comes amid a rapid rise in mortgage rates that has likely weighed on demand by making homes less affordable for most buyers and discouraging Americans locked in at lower mortgage rates from selling their homes. Mortgages have become more expensive over the past year due to the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hikes. The central bank has lifted benchmark borrowing costs from near zero to over 5% over the past year in a bid to bring down soaring prices. And while inflation appears to be cooling and moving closer to the Fed's 2% target rate, that has weighed heavily on certain stocks as well as bonds and housing. While the federal government has previously stepped in to help the American people financially, right now the spotlight is on states and cities. A total of 19 states have offered inflation relief payments to their residents. The goal of these checks is to help residents cope with rising inflation. Alaska residents have long been able to take advantage of a shared tax revenue program that comes from oil extraction through the Permanent Fund Dividend Program. In 2023, each approved applicant is going to receive a nice chunk of change, and that is $3,284. That amount is larger than normal because of an additional energy relief benefit that required eligible residents to have applied by March 31st, 2022. The energy relief portion of the payout is non-taxable. Many eligible residents have already received their payments, but if you applied later, you should expect to see your check by the end of June. That amount is larger than normal because of an additional energy relief benefit that required eligible residents to have applied by March 31st, 2023. The energy relief portion of the payout is non-taxable, and many eligible residents have already received their payments. But if you applied later, you should expect to see your check by the end of June. Colorado Governor Jared Polis and state legislators have also announced plans that they said would help ease property tax increases. It is an effort that would help homeowners and businesses in the state of Colorado. The plan would reduce the residential assessment rate from 7.15% to 6.7% and reduce the taxable value of homes by $40,000 in 2023 and 2024. Once passed, the taxable value reduction would continue for primary residences in future years. The Colorado governor also said during a news conference that if approved, the average homeowner in Colorado would see their property tax increases be cut by 50%. Well, my amazing and most beautiful friends, That is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Sunday. Thank you, my dear friends, for joining me here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I'm giving away Walmart gift cards every Friday. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, all you have to do, dear friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.